organise his escape.
I've had it up to here if you're sticking your nose in it.
There's something you're not telling me. You all knew George was involved, didn't you? You knew he supplied that van!
You've got 24 hours.
How are you going to get him out?
Kalashnikov. 90 rounds a minute, armor piercing, easy to handle.
Stand by him, all right? He's gorgeous. Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Cup of tea, Donald.
Hello, Al. Nice place you picked for. Reminds me of home. Peter, Andrew, McNaughty. Not as silly as you look, are you, lads?
Right.
I'm Donna Brunos, in case you didn't know.
Showing the man a good group.
A bit young, aren't they?
They can look after themselves. The old man was in the Paris. They've been shooting guns since they were saucepans.
All right. You can handle a gun. But what this job is about is staying calm, following orders. What I don't want you doing is thinking for yourselves, right?
I don't want anyone hurt. My husband wouldn't want innocent people to suffer on his behalf.
What do you think we're going on? Picnic?
I'm right here, Johnny. If you've got anything to say, you can say it to me.
Don't get your knickers in a twist, Princess.
My name is Donna, or Mrs. Brunos. And as long as I'm paying your wages, I'd appreciate a little respect.
No offence.
Right, well, if we all pay attention to the lady, we can walk away from this without a shot fired in anger. Right? What was all that about?
Sick of being patronised and ignored by that thug. I suppose you're going to tell me I was out of line?
No. Just thinking about the look on Johnny's face when you bollocked him.
I don't suppose there's any danger of you actually working for a living. My wallet could use a break.
You promised George you'd look after me. Remember, I've got Michelle to think about.
I don't work my fingers to the bone just to keep George's bastard in luxury. Now, if you want to earn some real cash, I might be able to fix you up with something.
I know exactly what you've got to offer, and I don't do it for money.
Well, it's a matter of opinion.
You know what makes me puke? Scrabbling around for loose change while Lady Muck lives it up in the lap of luxury. That house is mine by rights. I'm his kid's mother.
Don't talk to me about Donna Brunos. She pisses me right off.
I asked you a straight question. Now, are you having an affair with Alan Cox?
I'm not answerable to you.
What kind of reply is that?
What's happening to this family? First you hide the truth about your son, and now you drag me over here and accuse me of betraying him.
Are you having an affair?
No.
Then what are you doing with Cox, and why don't we see you anymore?
I've been busy.
Busy doing what, for God's sake?
That's nothing to do with you.
If Donna says she's not doing anything wrong, I believe her.
I love George. I've loved him from the first moment I set eyes on him. You have no idea how much I love him or what I've sacrificed for him. I'm not being unfaithful. You happy now?
You've changed, Donna.
I had to.
What's the word on Lewis?
Jesus, I thought they were under me there.
No one's going to turn you in for doing Donald Lewis, Tim. You're a hero.
Sell up? Why?
That's my business.
I haven't had a word from George about this.
The way things are now, Davy, I am George. And believe me, this is what he wants. Now, I need a quick answer. So are you interested?
Yes, of course we're interested. This place is our livelihood. Right. We'll try and raise the money somehow.
Good. Well, I'll give you a price just as soon as I finish going through these files.
You're up to something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I've got to hand it to you, Donna. Because not very long ago, you looked about as comfortable in George's shoes as a bishop in a brothel. But you've changed. Tell me the truth. Does he really know what you're doing, or is this some little scheme you're working on your own?
Everything I do is for George.
All right, I believe you. You don't deserve you know?
What do you mean by that?
All I meant was that George is bloody lucky to have you on his side. There's a lot of women in your position who would have done a run at a long time ago.
I see what you mean, Mum. I'm sorry.
That's no problem.
The file, Carol. Doesn't that make you curious?
Davy tells me anything that I need to know.
If I was in your position, I'd want to know everything about the business. Look, Talk To isn't just a finance company. Stephen's into some really dubious areas.
All right, well, I'll ask Davy what's on the file.
If he wanted you to know, don't you think he would have told you by now? Most people choose something obvious.
Obvious to them, maybe. Try my name. What about the kids? Danny? Cheryl? Natalie? Oh, well, he's crazy about the bloody dog.
What's it called?
Tyson. There you are. Hey, the motors don't bring in this kind of cash. I always told Davy we should not get involved with Stephen.
Where's it all coming from?
More to the bleeding point. Where's it all gone?
Candy. And the address?
No.
Don't say anything to Davy until we find out what this is about, okay?
We better have a bloody good explanation when the time comes.
Yeah, he's not the only one. I'm sorry, Alan.
What for?
Dragging you into this.
George did that, not you.
The funny thing is, even though it's all been so terrible in some ways, I don't regret it.
Glad that George went to jail?
No, of course not. It's just that I look back on what I used to be like and feel as if I was just drifting through life. Always relying on George to do things for me. Always letting him dictate how I felt. I was happy. But happy like a child or pet. Pampered and spoiled, not really responsible for anything.
You don't feel like that anymore?
I've had to grow up and think for myself. I've been scared half to death sometimes, but I've managed. I feel good about that.
It's not finished yet.
I know that, but I'm not frightened anymore.
You don't have to go through with this, Donna. You can walk away before it's too late.
And abandon George?
You don't have to ruin yourself for him. Got a choice.
I love him.
Well, maybe that's not a good enough reason to sacrifice yourself. I mean, what if all this goes wrong? I mean, you could be looking at 20 years. What's that going to achieve?
I have to try. He's all I've got. What's wrong?
Nothing. You realize that there is no going back once this starts?
Yes.
Gotta go.
Look, Donald, you've got it all wrong.
Don't insult my intelligence, Brutus. Now, you tell me what happened, and I might just let you live. You did take it, didn't you?
Of course I did.
To mark the launch of Mulan, Disney's epic tale of Oriental wisdom, here are some wise words. chooses Oriental McRib or Chicken McNuggets with choice of 2 new delicious Oriental dips, chooses wisely. Some words are wiser than others.
When she said, catch your breakfast, we all despaired. But we'd had weeds of big, so we quick prepared. We paddled a canoe and we swung from trees. And at the end of it all was this terrible wheeze like Darth Vader. Dip, dip, da, ba, ke, la.
Have you had your Weetabix?
It was Saturday night, and the place was electric. The weather affected everyone that night.
Do you know in this light? I don't want to know. Where's your sense of romance? It's out there with your sense of humour. Looks like we could be here for the weekend.
And they say lightning never strikes twice.
Little darlings, aren't they? The joy they bring. Oh, sad to think the cholesterol buildup could begin in some children before they've broken their first greenhouse window. So if you will insist on feeding them, try to make their diet healthy. Keep them active. And remember, the polyunsaturates and flora actually help lower cholesterol. Good news for my body, your body, their bodies.
No one walks out of a maximum security prison these days. You should all know that.
No one told me you was involved in this, Eric.
Look, we're trying to get George out of one of the most secure prisons in the world. I need someone on the team who's done it before.
I didn't think you worked for anyone anymore, Eric.
That's right. That's why I put him in charge. Anybody have any problems with that?
They might not be able to walk out of prison, Eric, but they can certainly fly.
There's no way you're going to get a chopper in there. They've wired off every square inch of space.
Enlighten us then, Eric. How do we get him out?
We're going to get George out on a laydown. We're going to jump him. In the road.
I don't understand.
A laydown is a transfer to another prison, Mrs. Brunos. Now, the laydown's almost certain to be Wandsworth. And the minimum number we're talking is 3 screws in a sweat. Let me tell you something. They won't be stopping for anything.
Except for us. That's what we ask them nicely.
That's done.
We have one other small problem. No one can predict when a laydown is going to be. The governor himself gets less than 24 hours' notice.
Except in the case of good order and discipline. The governor can request the transfer of an inmate if he thinks the security of the prison is under threat. It's called a code. Good order and discipline. Now, we've got to make George that threat. And we've got to make it happen in a timescale that suits us.
Once George is out of the sweatbox, it's your responsibility. The 4 of you are going to be in the firing line with me and Alan. And I wouldn't be surprised if things get a little bit lively.
I've told you, Eric. No one gets hurt.
Quite right. Johnny, we don't want any carnage. I assume we can rely on you to make George understand what he has to do.
Don't worry, I'll take care of that.
Anyone would think you did this kind of thing every day of the week, Mrs. Brunos.
I'm getting used to it.
Good.
Did you kill Willie?
It doesn't matter who pulled the trigger. It was unavoidable. All right, Donald, it's over. You won.
Sit down.
I'm gonna need some time to get the cash together.
How much time?
A week.
I'll give you someone to contact on the outside. If I hear by 5 o'clock Saturday night that the money's in place, then you and I will call it quits. But if you're so much as 1 minute late, I won't just kill you. I'll make you wish you'd never been born.
It's a number to count in Monaco. I expect my fee to be deposited within 24 hours of the dump.
Yep. We'll deal with that later. Come on.
How much is it?
What's the problem?
No problem.
I think I've got a right to know. I'm paying.
200,000 was the figure we agreed.
200,000?
Yeah. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Yep, fine. I can't possibly afford that kind of money.
Don't worry about it.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? Eric doesn't look like the sort of man who'd take kindly to somebody cheating him.
You'll get paid.
How? No, I couldn't afford to pay you back, Alan.
It's not me.
Then who is it?
It's George. George is paying.
George hasn't got that kind of money.
Well, he must be raising it somehow.
How?
Doesn't matter. Just get in the car.
Look, I don't understand. How?
Just get in the bloody car.
He's using the money from the robbery, isn't he?
I don't know.
Just tell me the truth, please.
Well, George knew about the job because he got the van for Willie Parker and Donald Lewis. I don't know what happened, but somehow he managed to double-cross them. And the music stopped. Our Georgie was left holding the cash. He must have just had time to hide it before they arrested him.
He did everything they said. Oh, my God. He's guilty. He lied to me. He's never stopped lying to me. Oh, my God, I believed everything he told me. How could I have been so stupid? I should have seen it. God, he's guilty. And I've just arranged to get him out of prison. Wasn't a saint. At some level, I suppose I guessed he had the odd thing going, but I didn't want to dig too deeply. I was so happy I didn't want to rock the boat. I never thought for a second he was capable of something like this. What am I going to do?
George in that prison, Donald Lewis is going to kill him. So the question you've got to ask yourself is, no matter what he's done, are you prepared to let that happen?
telling me the truth.
There's something else you should know. Yeah, I took you with me when I was putting the team together because I needed some kind of proof that I could deliver what I was promising. They all get a bonus when George gets out. So long as you're with me, they've got some kind of guarantee he's going to pay up.
I was your hostage. Is that still true?
As far as I'm concerned, you are free to do whatever you want. I'm sorry, Donna.
It's all right. I understand. They obviously knew George couldn't be trusted. I wish I could say the same. Hold me. Please. You have to get yourself on a lay down. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll think of a way. But it's got to be Saturday.
Why?
Because by Sunday morning I'll be dead. Do you hear what I said?
I heard you.
You don't seem very worried.
I'm trying to decide how much I care. I know what you did, George. I know what you are and what you've always been. I hope to leave you in this place. It's what you deserve.
What the hell are you talking about?
How long have you been a thief, and when exactly did the lies start?
Who told you? Cox. Yeah. Yeah, Paddy told me how much you've been seeing of him. I bet he's got you wrapped round his finger.
It doesn't matter who told me. I want to know one thing. Did you order your gang to kill that policewoman?
Donna. Of course not. What do you take me for? Just the one got out of hand. Willie Parker went totally berserk. Listen, as God is my witness, I never wanted anyone hurt. Baby, I'm not a villain. I'm not a real villain. And everything I've ever done, everything I did for you, yes, I was working all hours to give you the life you deserve, but it was all falling apart. I was nearly bankrupt. So I saw a chance to make everything right. We never have to worry about money again.
Don't make me the excuse for this.
All right, I did it for us. What difference does it make?
I would have been happy with you, rich or poor, and you know that.
Yeah, no, but I couldn't face it. I couldn't face it. I couldn't face telling you I was a failure. I couldn't. I knew what it would do to you. I thought that payroll job was our only hope.
Don't you see what you've done, George? You have destroyed everything that we had.
I still love you. That has not changed.
I can't make any promises about what happens after Saturday. I don't know what I feel anymore.
I'll make it all right, Donna.
to know one thing. I want your word that you're nothing more than a silent partner in Stephen's business. And don't even think about lying to me again.
Please. Will you give me some credit? You know that tacky stuff isn't me. You know it. On my life, I swear it. What Stephen gets up to is nothing. Nothing to do with me.
What the hell are we doing here, Donna?
Just humour me, Mario. Always try to pretend as if you're interested.
Stephen's gonna go mad when he finds us here.
I have to know if George is involved in this. Excuse me, I'm Donna Brunos. Stephen asked me to check that everything was okay.
Well, he never said nothing to me about it.
The Brunos family don't answer to their employees. I want to know what's on those locked files.
But we're not going to get anywhere without a password.
Try Candy.
Candy White.
Just try Candy, Mario.
Who is she? We already knew Stephen was a scumbag. What difference does a hardcore website make?
It's George's computer.
No. Everything we've seen tonight could just as easily been set up by Stephen.
He's up to his neck in it. We both know that. He lied to me again.
Come here. You got to see this.
This is Vida.
You know her?
Her husband is in the same prison as George. Michelle is Gio's daughter.
Look, Stephen's been looking after him since George went to prison. I should have told you a long time ago. I was just frightened of what George and Stephen might do.
How long have you known?
Since Michelle was a few months old. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
I thought you'd hate me.
There's nothing left of him, Mary.
When this little lad grows up, he'll have to compete. And when he grows up, he'll choose Bupa Ireland, just like his parents did. Because he'll know then what his parents now know to their benefit. Competition is healthy, because it gives you a choice. You'll be better off with Bupa. Call 1-890-700-890.
Discover energy in its purest state. Timotei Orange and Wild Mint. A force that makes your hair burst with brilliance. A concentrate of energy, vitality, to awaken all your senses. New Timotei Orange and Wild Mint. Discover the power of nature.
In the beginning, it's easy. You're there, listening to them, talking with them, understanding them, helping them to grow up. As the years go by, they meet different people. They have good times and bad times. But whatever happens, they know talking is the first step. European Drug Prevention Week. If you want to talk to someone about drugs, call now.
An unforgettable experience. Viennetta from HP.
Did you know? Did you?
I don't understand. What is this?
This is George with his mistress and their daughter.
No, I don't believe it. You wouldn't.
That's not the half of it, Maeve.
What are you talking about?
Your darling son is a professional criminal. A violent, manipulative thug. He did it, Maeve. He's as guilty as sin. And I think you've known it from the beginning.
Well, I had my suspicions. But that's not the same as knowing it for sure. I didn't want to believe it.
He's had us all wrapped around his little finger from the start.
He was always such a beautiful little boy. And I just couldn't resist giving him everything he wanted.
My God, what a mess this family turned out to be. George is a liar and a criminal. Stephen's a pornographer. And Mario can't even tell you about the most important thing in his life.
If you're trying to tell me he was gay, don't you think I guessed that? Doesn't make any difference to me. He's still my son.
Do you have any idea how much misery you could have saved him if you'd just told him that, Maeve? I'm going away for a day or two.
Where are you going?
Liverpool. I can't tell you any more than that.
Are you going with Alan Cox? I wouldn't blame you if you were.
You all right?
Yeah, fine.
Don't we know each other?
What is it with Nelson anyway? You keep staring at him.
It's nothing.
You're like my mum, you are. If she says it's nothing, then it must be really serious. I say that if I can do anything, I will. I owe that to Timmy. It's a cow, what
When I was 11 years old, him and a couple of his mates offered me a lift home from school. They took me to his flat. Afterwards, they told me not to say anything. I mean, I was lucky. He killed some of us.
Nelson's a nice. You sure it's him?
You don't forget someone who rapes you.
Are you sure? You're going to come this way?
Let me tell you something. The last thing they want to do on a good order and discipline is change the route of the laydown at short notice. You see, that way the local uniforms know the score without having to be briefed, yeah?
I hope you're right, Eric.
There's a farm road down the way. We'll wait there with the skip and leave the van parked here like it's broken down. After that, it's a matter of back and fronting the sweatbox. Then we've got 2 minutes before the enemy get themselves together.
What about civilians?
Drones, Alan, drones, look at them. Dashing about in their nasty little cars, going to their nasty little jobs. No one cares about a few drones, mate.
I meant what I said, Eric. No one is going to get hurt.
As long as they do as they're told, everything will be all right. If not...
You really want someone to step out of line, don't you?
Trouble is, Alan, I frighten them so much they hardly ever do.
I'm still waiting, Brunos.
Don't worry, you'll get your money. Saturday night, just like we agreed. Listen, there's someone else.
I've told you, no more excuses.
It's nothing to do with that. It's Nelson. He's a nonce.
They wouldn't put one of those bastards in with us.
Ask Sadie. Seems they had a run-in a few years back. People who prey on kids are worse than vermin. The thought of it makes me sick.
Yeah, well, it's bloody disgusting.
I want your permission to sort it.
All right, then. If it bothers you that much, go ahead. When are you going to do it?
Don't worry, Don. I'll keep an eye out for the right moment.
want to speak to Candy.
Who's that?
It's Mrs. George Brunos.
I wasn't expecting you.
I represent George's interests now.
It's taking you long enough to get organised. Everything's turned to shit since Stephen took over.
Took over? Oh, you mean from George?
Who else? How's he bearing up, anyway?
Yeah, he's okay. Right, I want to have a good look round. I want to know exactly what I'm dealing with.
You're the boss. We've got problems with the distribution in Asia. Davey and Paddy have been up a couple of times to sort it, but, well, we're talking about pretty low wattage with those two, aren't you?
Paddy Donovan's involved with this.
Didn't George tell you?
George is in a maximum security prison, Candy. I don't get many visits. I can't cover everything.
Yeah, must be tough. My old man's in Durham. But then, he's a pig. Best place for him. Certainly beats driving around stag parties with 5 reels of film in the back of the Mini, doesn't it? Thank God for technology. That's what I say. I always wanted to be in showbiz. Well, you've got to have something to keep the little darlings amused between takes.
Look, I need to know where she's gone.
We don't know.
Why is it so important?
I can't tell you that. You'll have to trust me.
Is she in trouble?
I think she might be, yeah.
Liverpool. She said it was Liverpool.
Maeve!
I know what I'm doing.
Did she leave an address?
She's gone to Stephen's warehouse.
This is the latest. All right. I'll leave you to it then. Have you got a present for me?
Of course I have. Come here and I'll show you.
Hello?
Stephen, it's Candy.
What do you want?
You know what the blokes are like with nonsense. They'll tear them limb from limb. I reckon that's what you want. You wouldn't be thinking of taking Lewis out while you're at it, would you?
You're fantasizing with him.
There's something about this doesn't smell right. If it isn't Lewis, maybe you've got some other scam going.
I'm doing this for Sadie.
Maybe. I'm watching every move you make, Greek boy.
What do you think of our little studio, eh? Not exactly 20th Century Fox, but does the job.
You scum!
Me? What are you talking about? This is George's idea. You want to take it over with your husband. I was happy with my little patch in Soho, but George was the one who saw the way the market was expanding. He's always had vision, my brother. I'll grant him that. The thing I will never understand is why I bothered with you for so long. I mean, what with Vidler and the kid, when all the other skirt he's been chasing. Wouldn't think he'd be interested. Still, he could say so we're getting a divorce, eh?
What are you going to do?
Put the brandy in you. Put you in the car. Put the car in the Mersey. That's what it's happening, Donna. Just be one more drink driving statistic and bye-bye. I'd like to say that I'll miss you, but to be quite honest, I'm sick of the sight of you.
This is nothing to do with you, Cocktail. As you go, all right? As you... Hold his arm. Stop it, don't do it. All right, all right.
Hardcore is one thing, Steve. This is just a piece of filth!
I don't need lectures in morality from the likes of you, Cox.
One day to leave the country. And if you ever set foot in England again, I swear to God, I will kill you. Bundle them up. Call the police. Get this place raided. Come on, Tom. Get my Jag back to Dumbar, all right?
What day is it?
It's Friday. Friday night.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Wait! Will you untie us, you stupid bastards?
What time is it?
It's just gone 8.
Shit.
It's all off. I'm cancelling the jump. They can throw away the key now. I never want to see George again as long as I live.
It's not that simple anymore.
What do you mean we can't cancel? Of course we can.
You don't know what you're dealing with here. Sorry, Tom. It's too late. It's got to go ahead.
Next Sunday at 9:20, you can see the final part of The Jump.